Maybe... Oh, never mind, he did one-shot him. What the f... He just unlimited blade works his ass, but with water pressure. Well, it was at this moment he realized he might have f***ed up. Keep in mind, the anime community always is asking for, oh, please, give us isekai that are different, that aren't generic, that don't copy and paste from the last. And then when insert Water Magician comes out, crickets, silence, anime community sleeps, and rewards much weaker isekai and punishes those that are strong. Make it make sense. You make sure you drop a like, though, show your support. Subscribe if you're new around. Your Patreon is, of course, who catch those full live reactions and also help support the channel while you're at it. So, the past couple of weeks have been really good for Water Magician. They ended the last episode very close to seeing our boy die. Like, best pal, the first friend we made in this show, and we go on our Lord of the Rings adventure through the forest, through the mountains, killing dragons. It was a grand old time. He would have died there. There's no exaggeration. He would have died. They were essentially going up against they're called devils, but it was like the big boss of the devils. Yeah, like he wasn't winning that fight. And the thing that's so brilliant is in any of these shows, you assume MC is going to save the day because that's how it works. But 2-3 episodes prior, the MC didn't do that and it was all on him. You see, there was a big wave that escaped through the dungeon, and Abel and all of his party, right, basically did it themselves. They not only inserted that he was strong, like they showed us he's strong, but also the MC, he was reading books in the library with his hot elven girlfriend. Like, that's what the MC was doing. So in that moment, there's no reason to believe the MC is going to jump in. They make you say, oh, this is Isekai, we know what type of show this is, to, oh, wait, the MC doesn't jump in to save the day. Okay. So when that same party goes deep into the dungeon, and then it looks like they're actually going to die, your guard is supposed to drop. The author is very brilliant with how they directed everything there, because at that point, there's no, it's not like the MC was with them. He was in the goddamn library. The MC is always in the library with his hot elven girlfriend. There's no reason to believe he was going to save the day. So when he jumps through the ground, and he's like, come on, you were gonna die. Like, he legitimately meant that too. He's like, you were gonna die from that? That thing's weak as hell. He did 2 one-shots. He drew his blade, cut its head clean off, and when this thing picked it back up and placed it on, and he's like, oh, that's not enough, he used essentially power washers because his entire magical arsenal is water. So high pressure water, 1,000 of them, cuts him into cubes, and then goes and gets dinner. Like, that's aura farming. And that's what pisses me off about, like, people sleeping on the show. And it's like, no matter where I dig, across all social medias, I'm continuously seeing the same level of comments. Oh, MC boring. Oh, not a lot happens. Like, you can criticize the production a fair amount. It is absolutely a punching above its weight, but bless the team for going as much as they can with this show, given the limitations. But, like, to unironically say it's boring when it's like, yeah, it takes it slow. But it's like everything's wrote like real people. One of the best examples I can give is the response to the MC's power. When he was introduced, right? So after we got introduced to this city, everyone in this dude's party was like, yeah, that kid's not strong. Because while for an anime viewer, we know Isekai MC gonna be built different. But if we're gonna realistically look at it from the character's perspectives, which is what you're supposed to do when watching a story or reading a story, whatever it is you have to say, does the skepticism the character is having make sense given her position in the world, or his position in the world? And given that, you know, chantless magic, all this different types of stuff just doesn't exist or should exist given how things operate in this world, right? You're not gonna believe that random bozo who looks like he could be 12 years old, you know, is one-shotting dragons and the like. And even though it keeps getting hammered in that he does it, they've never seen him do it. So to finally have that moment where they're like, oh shit, no, he actually is strong. And I love too when they come up to the surface, the guildmaster, when he gets told by the old guy who's like, it wasn't him, it was that kid. And he's like, what do you mean it was that kid? Like, the skepticism is believable. Some people will call it annoying, like, how could they doubt in our MC? He's so strong. It's like, put yourself in their shoes. And I'm not saying it's the only show to do that, but it's the show that I think has gotten it to be the most believable. And I think given how they could have really made it annoying, and I think this is probably why it works better, episode 2 or 3, I forget which one it was, when he first got met to his pal's party, the one girl was like, this dude's a fraud, like, you're lying, like, he's not that good. I thought they were really going to hammer in her persona the whole time, being like, I don't believe you're strong. But no, she just legitimately didn't believe. And then we moved on. Like, that's all they did, but it was believable. Like, they didn't try to make an annoying archetype where it's just there to pester the MC until he proves himself. It's just, no, she's like, the dude clearly can't do what you're saying. Like, no one can. And I think my favorite specific part about this episode is actually how they covered up for Ryo. Because Ryo, if people knew what he did, he would be thrown deeper into political shit. People would want to use him, would want to have him on their side. And essentially, one, you don't want to piss the kid off who probably could keep you safe if you stay on his good side. And two, the kid deserves to just do what he wants. And honestly, while I don't think he would run away from political stuff right away, I do think if you annoyed him enough with politics, he would just go back to his shack and hang out with his Fairy King pal. So yeah, it's probably a good idea you covered it up. And I also really like how, at the end of the episode, they punish the MC. So he basically says, hey, we told you not to go into the dungeon. Yes, you are the reason everyone's safe, but we have rules for a reason. You can argue all you want, but at the end of the day, rules are rules, and it's like, if they bend the rules for him and it gets out, yes, he's a different beast, but then other people will do it and a lot of people will get killed. But at the same time, I think the big reason for the punishment is because at face value, you have to have one because it looks like someone who was below rank went in. But it's mainly because we're trying to push him out of his shell. If we just say, hey, we want you to take a job outside the dungeon, he'll probably say no. But if we say, you're being punished, so take a job outside the dungeon, he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I gotta do that. You can argue, is it right or wrong or not, but it's definitely gonna propel him outside of what he's been doing up to this point, which really has been hanging out with his hot anime elven girlfriend. That's all he does. And honestly, it's kind of brilliant. I don't know, this show, the worst part can be its visuals at times, but even when it does suffer stiff animation or kind of PNG slideshow at times, the character writing and everything is just fantastic. And I think truly the anime community is doing a disservice by treating this as a below average isekai of the season when it's among one of the strongest that we're going to see this year, and I will die on that hill. So let me know your thoughts down below, though. Leave a like to show your support. Subscribe if you're new around. Your Patreon is, of course, where you catch those full live reactions and other exclusives like, hey, I give video shoutouts to my patrons. Alright, so today we got Azoth Montgomery, Mig021, James Wright, Fox Girl, Gareth Green, Durberg Jude, Third Dynasty, Arda Kunha, and we also have Edra Z, so I appreciate the support. Everyone, please take care. Y'all have a good one.